Hello, this is William Reed, and it's time for a taste of Zen. Small fish swallows big fish. This is one of my favorite Zen sayings. And like many Zen sayings, at first glance it doesn't seem to make any sense. But let's think through it. How is it possible for the small fish to swallow the big fish? Well, remember that in many Zen expressions, they use a process called mitate, which means it's what you hear is actually pointing to something else. The finger is pointing to the moon. So it's actually talking about not necessarily a small fish swallowing something bigger, but maybe a small fish becoming big enough to swallow. So the small fish becomes the big fish. This is one way to think of it. Another one is that sometimes, even though we feel we do not have enough energy or strength or resources to do something, in fact, when put under pressure, we find that we more than can surpass what we thought we could do. Now, my friend Hugh Purser wrote a wonderful poem explaining this, and I've printed it out on washi paper, which is Japanese handmade paper. It's got this lovely texture. So small fish swallows big fish, and I painted the character for fish here on a wooden block, and so that you see that as a photograph. And then below it is the poem itself. Small fish swallows big fish. Defying logic in some way, can't be done, you say? Come with me, together cross the bridge of enlightenment. Surpass yourself and achieve what others cannot perceive. Now, that's a wonderful way of understanding this. Defying logic in some way can't be done, you say? Well, you means the people around you, or maybe even in your self-talk. He says, no, that can't be done. And therefore you can easily be talked out of doing something that you really should be doing. And therefore you don't surpass yourself. However, come with me, together cross the bridge of enlightenment. So you have a vision that you can do something greater. And then, especially when pressed to do it, you go ahead and do it, and you achieve, you surpass yourself and achieve what others cannot perceive. So it starts with vision, and the belief not in your small self, but in the larger self that is within you, that is really a combination of everything that you've ever experienced, all the books you've ever read, your genetics, inheritance from your ancestors. Really, in a sense, you have the entire human race behind you, and therefore there's no reason why you can't accomplish a lot more than most people think. So I hope that you will be inspired by this Zen phrase, small fish swallows big fish, and join me again in another future episode of Taste of Zen.